Hello everyone, Beagles 842 here, Shuffle Up and Deal with a look at how to play the game of Euchre. Euchre is a trick-taking game, similar to Hearts and Spades, but also different, as you'll see. And all you need is a regular deck of cards like this to play. All you need is 24 cards from a regular deck of cards, the Ace, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, and King of each suit. That is it, 6 cards from each suit. Or you can get a specific euchre deck like this one that comes with just those cards. They don't come with 2 decks, so you get, 2 for the price of 1 essentially. And this one is a bit more of a deluxe version by Midnight Cards, Euchre. But you can just get regular bicycle versions as well, and are more affordable. And this is what you get. You get the cards that you need. Ace, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King in each of the suits. And it does come with 2 decks, like I mentioned. It also comes with scoring cards. And they also will come with rules. Not the biggest fan of the rules that comes with this version because it's so teeny tiny, and I don't think it even specifies how to score. But we will cover that. So, it's a trick-taking game for 4 players in partnership. 2 teams will be playing against each other. And you can just randomly choose who to be your partner and randomly choose a start player. There is no rules governing that. It's just random. What you'll do to start off with, and we'll put this aside for now. I will shuffle up the deck and deal with that. The dealer will shuffle up the cards. The person to the right of the dealer may cut the cards. They may request to cut the cards. They might be asked to cut the cards. I don't believe you specifically need to cut the cards, but they can cut the cards. And then they will be dealt out 5 cards to each player. It's 3, 2, 3, 2. Alternating, just like so. The rest of the cards, the 4 cards that are left, are known as the kitty. The top card will be flipped face up, and this may or may not become the trump suit. In this case, it's diamonds. And I'm going to show you all the cards. Of course, everyone's going to keep these secret. So what's going to happen now, and I'll explain scoring and ranking in a moment, but I figured I would cover this part of the game first a little bit. So what's going to happen now is the player to the left of the dealer will start. And they can choose to order this up as the trump. They can say, okay, I want this to be the trump. In this case, it doesn't work for them because they do not have any diamonds. So they wouldn't want that for trump. So they're going to pass. The next player, my partner over there, looks at his cards. He has 1 diamond. It's not very good for him. So he's going to pass. This player looks at it. Okay, he's got some diamonds. Maybe he'll accept this card as the trump suit. Maybe he won't. And if he passes, it would come to me, and I would say, hell no. I don't want that. Even though I do technically have a trump card. I'll explain that in a bit. If everyone passes during this first round, it will get flipped face down. And then this player to the left of the dealer would start, and he can name a trump suit himself, or he can pass. In this case, maybe he would name the clubs, or he would pass. The next player would get the opportunity to name a trump suit or pass. And then the next player, and then it would come to me. If that happens again, where everyone passes on naming a trump suit, it would be called a misdeal. The cards would be gathered up and would be redealt. However, this is time-consuming, and it is recommended that you play under the stick the dealer rules. In which case, if everyone passes a second time on naming a trump suit, That is, everyone passed on diamonds being the trump suit, and nobody wanted to name hearts, spades, or clubs as trump. Then the dealer would be forced to name a trump suit. In this case, I would name spades since I have a bunch of spades. But let's just go back to this for now, and we'll go over the other version in a bit. So in this case, this player is going to pass because he doesn't have diamonds. My partner is going to pass. This guy says, you know what? Let's take diamonds. Now, I should mention, if you decide to order up the trump, if you decide to name this as trump, it means that you are making the intention that you will win at least 3 out of 5 tricks during this round. And if you fail to do so, you will be penalized. You will be euchred. Whoever orders up the trump, let's say he orders up the trump, this team becomes known as the attackers or makers, as I've seen. Me and my partner would become the defenders. And it is our goal to try to prevent them from winning 3 tricks or more. And it is their goal to try to win 3 tricks or more. In that case. Now, if he says, okay, let's take diamonds as trump because he has 3 diamonds, the dealer would then get to take this card, and they would get rid of any card from their hand. However, we go back to this. If it goes around the table and everyone passes on this one, now there is no exchange. So if it comes back and let's say I say spades, that is it. There's spades and there's no exchange of the cards. But since he decided to name diamonds as trump, which is possibly a mistake because he is giving me a trump card, in that case there would be an exchange. And it's recommended you exchange a low value card or one that is just, randomly there. That's not very helpful to you. And obviously not get rid of a trump or a really good card. Now, also, I should mention, if it goes around and, let's say this didn't happen. Let's say this goes away. Let's say it goes around, everyone passes on diamonds, and it comes to me, and I say, okay, let's make spades the trump suit. Since I have 4 pretty good spade cards in the trump, I could decide to go it alone, which is my partner would be out of the game, and I would try to win a minimum of 3 tricks by myself against my 2 opponents, and my partner is out of it. You'd only go it alone if you have a really good hand. I have a pretty decent hand with 4 pretty good spades, trump suited cards. And my opponents, I wouldn't know what they have, but they don't have the highest trump suits. And especially considering it is a must follow, they'd be pretty screwed up. But I have 4 out of 6 of the trumps. It might be a good reason for me to go it alone. But it is risky if you fail going it alone and you become euchred, your opponents will get that many more points. But again, we're going back to this. Everyone right around this guy said, let's do diamonds. I take this card and swap it with another one, which you only do again if this card becomes trump. If this card gets flipped face down, then there is no exchange. Hopefully I'm making sense. I'm trying to make sense as much as possible. Now, let's talk about, before we go any further, the rankings, because this is important as well. The rankings. In this case, we're using diamonds as the trump suit. So the highest card in the trump suit is not the ace of spades. You might think it's the ace of spades based on many other games, but it is not. It is actually the jack of diamonds. The jack of the trump suit is the highest card in the game, and that is known as the right bower. The other jack that is of the same color, the opposite suit, that being the jack of hearts in this case, is the second highest card, followed by the ace of diamonds, the king of diamonds, the queen of diamonds, and the 10 and 9 of diamonds. And the next highest in this case would be the rest of the heart suits, and then it's all the black cards. They're the lowest ones in this case, with diamonds being a trump. But that's basically how it works. Whichever suit is the trump suit, in this case, like I said, for this round, we're using diamonds. Jack of diamonds, the right bower is the highest card. The jack of the opposite suit of the same color, the jack of hearts in this case, is the left bower. It's the second highest card. Then it's the ace, king, queen, 10, 9. And then it's the hearts, although it's not really that important, I think, once you break it down to other suits. But anyways, that is how it goes. Hopefully that makes some sense. So keep that in mind, and I need to keep that in mind as we play through this round. So the player to the left of the dealer is going to go first. Again, remember, these guys declared the trump, so they are going to be the attackers. We're going to be the defenders. We can put these aside. He doesn't have any. We start with the person to the left of the dealer. He doesn't have any trump He doesn't have any trump, but he's going to play his highest card. You always want to try to play your highest cards and win tricks first. It's also recommended that you don't rely on your partner to win a trick, because they might not. So he's going to play his highest card, the ace of hearts. It is a must-follow suit, which means my partner has to play a heart if he has one. This guy does not have a heart. He's not going to play a dime because his partner currently is winning this trick. So he's going to play a low card. And then he comes to me. Now, I know what you're saying. I have a heart. I don't. The jack of hearts, remember, is the trump. It's a diamond. It's considered a diamond, a second highest diamond. So I'm not going to play that. Instead, I am going to trump it to win this trick by playing the queen of diamonds, which is trump. And I'm going to collect these cards. One trick down. So I'm going to lead. I'm going to play my highest card, the ace of spades. He has to follow. He can't. He doesn't have any trump, so he's just going to get rid of a small card. Comes to my partner. He also does not have. So he's just going to play a small card. Actually, he'll play that one because diamond is trump. And it comes to this player, and he has to follow suit, so he has to play the king of spades, even though he could trump it. But he can't, because he has to follow. So next, let's say I play the queen of spades. This guy can't play any spades. It comes around to my partner. He'll just play a card. And this guy, he's going to trump it because he can. And he has no choice. So he trumps it. He wins the trick. Whoever wins the trick, of course, leads. So now he's going to play the ace of diamonds, his biggest card. And I'm going to say, no, I'm going to trump that. The jack of hearts, of course, is higher than the ace of diamonds because it is trump. It's the left bower. This guy's just going to play a card. And my partner has to follow trump, so he will. But we win the trick. And we have won 3 tricks out of 5. But I'm going to play the last card. And they're going to trump it and win. So, since we won 3 tricks, it's a good idea. It's a good time to look at the scoring. In this version, you got these little scoring cards, and you would use some markers or coins. Oh, as I'm losing coins. Don't worry, it's only a penny. Not even using Canada anymore. And it's actually an American penny. We would get... The scoring works as follows. If you are the attackers, and actually in this case, our opponents were the attackers, and they were euchred. They failed to win 3 tricks, so we euchred them. Take that. And in that case, what happens is, if you get at least 3 tricks as the attackers, you will get 1 point. If you take all 5 tricks as the attackers, you would get 2 points. Since they were failed since they failed to win free tricks, since the defenders won free tricks, we get 2 points. If we happen to, as the defenders, win all 5 tricks, we would get 4 points. We didn't. We won 3. So we get 2 points. If, I was to go it alone, as per that other example, which we'll look at again probably, and if I go alone and I get at least 3 tricks, I'll get a point. But if I get all 5 tricks, I get 4 points. If I get Euchre going alone, my opponents will get either 2 points or 4 points if they win all 5 tricks. I should mention as well, you can be penalized for reneging. You can be penalized for playing a card illegally, 2 points. We'll go to your opponents if you get caught doing that, and I'll explain that in a bit. And I'll explain what that means actually right now. So we'll play another round here. Let's say this guy over here is a dealer now, so he's going to deal out cards, and he's going to deal 2 free 2 instead of 3 2 3. It's a little bit confusing, but you can just deal, 2 2 2 and then 3 3 3, however you want. And we'll reveal the top card. Kitty, it's a spade. We're going to look at our hands. My partner is going to get to go first here. And he doesn't have a lot of spades in his hand. He doesn't want to give that to his opponent, the dealer. So he's going to pass. He looks at his hand. He passes. It's not very good. He doesn't have a lot of spades. And he doesn't know if his partner does. Everyone's kind of got some spades here. And I'm going to pass. And the dealer passes. So we pass on this one. Now we go around. Everyone has the opportunity to name a trump suit, not spades, not the suit that was just removed. So my partner starts here, looks at his hand. He decides, he's going to pass. He doesn't have anything he wants to name as trump. This guy also passes. Comes to me, and I'm going to pass as well. So now it's up to the dealer. The dealer, we're going to stick it to the dealer. The dealer has to name a trump suit, whether he likes it or not. And he decides to go with diamonds. Or you can just do a misdeal and reshuffle and redeal. We're not going to do that. We're sticking it to the dealer. And he's going to say diamond is trump. And you can even flip a card over just so that we know the diamonds is trump. If you want. You don't have to do that. That's not in the rules, but just a suggestion. So the person to the left of the dealer is going to start. In this case, because we did not take the top card from the deck in the first round as the trump, there is no exchange with the dealer. The dealer only takes the trump card if somebody declares trump in the first round. So the dealer is going to start. And I should mention there's one other thing. And that is, if at some point in time a player has the 5 highest ranking cards in the trump suit in their hand, that is the jack, the 2 jacks of the same color, the ace, the king, and the queen, all of the same suit, they can immediately put the cards down. Like, let's say, I'll show you what that would look like. If we went around and we'll say, this is the hand I had, and I said, you know what, let's make spades trump, I can immediately go put my cards down, and I automatically win the round, and we get the 4 points because we have I have the 5 highest cards in the entire game. So if you happen to get lucky enough to get those 5 cards, the 5 highest trump suit cards in that round, you automatically win the round and you get the points. And as I mentioned as well in the scoring, it's whoever gets the 10 points first wins. I believe once somebody gets to 9 points, it's called barn doors or something like that. And it means they're 1 point away from winning. But whoever gets to 10 points first wins the game. So in this case, everyone passed, came back to the dealer. He named diamonds as the trump. This player is going to start. My partner is going to start. He doesn't have any trump, any high cards. So he's just going to play the king of hearts. This guy has to follow suit. He plays the queen. Comes to me. I'm going to I'm going to play the 10. The reason is because my partner currently has the high card, so I don't want to trump him. I don't want to beat him. There's no reason to beat him, so I'm just going to play the low card. And then it comes to this player. He says, you know what? I'm going to trump that, and he takes that suit. And remember, they are the attackers because they named the trump. And we are the defenders. So they have one trick, and they're going to start with, he's going to play the ace of diamonds, which actually is a mistake. He's going to play the king of spades. The reason it's a mistake is because there's higher cards out there that could beat that still. So maybe he doesn't want to play that. In this case, his partner has the highest card, and he'd be beating one of the highest cards. So that would be a mistake, perhaps. Perhaps. He's going to play the king of spades, though. It comes to my partner. He plays just the jack of spades. This guy with a 9, and then it comes to me, and I'm going to beat that with the trump suit. And I didn't mention this, but I should mention it. If you're not familiar with trump, trick-taking games with trump suits, as I mentioned at the start, the trump is the highest suit. The trump will always beat any other card. The highest trump played will always win any trick. And in this case, since I played a trump, it will beat spades. So I'm going to play the ace of hearts. This guy doesn't have a heart technically because this is diamond. So he's just going to, he's going to trump that. My partner has nothing to play. And same with this guy, so he's just going to play an ace of clubs. It's a bad one to play, unfortunately, but he has aces and a jack of diamonds. He doesn't have much of a choice. So they have two tricks. This guy's going to play his highest card, the jack of hearts. My partner can't do anything with that. This guy has to play, unfortunately, the jack of diamonds, which is the highest card. And I have to play, I have to follow, because this is the trump. Remember, this is the left bower. It's the second highest trump card. So I have to play a trump suit so that everyone else, if possible. So this guy wins. He's going to lead with the ace of spades. And he's going to win. So they won 4 tricks. That means they get 1 point. If you win 3 or 4 tricks, you get 1 point. If you win all 5 tricks, that's when you get 2 points. And unfortunately, we were not able to stop him. But basically, that's the basics of euchre. Again, you have to keep in mind that the jacks of the trump suit is the highest card in the game. The jack of the opposite suit of the same color will be the second highest. And then it's the ace, king, queen, 10, and 9. A couple little strategy things. The best strategy for when you are naming the trump is that you should only order up trump. You should only name a trump if you have a good hand and you think you're going to win at least 3 tricks. Otherwise, you might be screwing yourself over. And you have to keep in mind that, you know, the top of the 4 cards that gets flipped over from the kitty will go to the dealer. And if your opponent is a dealer, you're going to be giving them a trump card, perhaps a good one, in this case, if diamonds was ordered up to trump. And you might not want to help out your opponent, so it might be in your best interest to just pass. And again, you're trying to win. If you're the attacker, you're trying to win at least 3 out of 5 tricks. If you fail, you become euchred or penalized, and you have to give up some points. We talked about the rankings. Again, if a player orders up the trump, they name a trump suit, and they have an exceptional hand, a really good hand, they can decide to play by themselves. It's not, I don't think it's that common that happens, but it can happen. And they would have to try to win free tricks at least by themselves without their partner. The partner would sit out that round. And if you have the 5 highest ranking cards of the trump suit, you will automatically win because your hand is unbeatable. I talked about the scoring, I believe. The other thing that I didn't mention, I should probably cover. I mentioned it very minorly. We'll just hand out a hand here very quickly, and I will explain that. We'll just say hearts is a trump suit for this round, just for the hell of it. And this guy would exchange that. So hearts is trump. So there is one thing you can be penalized for, and that is, let's just say I start off and I play the jack of clubs. And then this guy plays queen of clubs, and my partner, he doesn't have anything, so he plays, let's say he plays the queen of diamonds, or maybe he plays the nine of hearts, the trumpet. This guy over here, since he has clubs, he must play it. He has to follow suit. You have to follow suit. However, if he does not, and let's just say he decides to play a different card for whatever reason, and he gets caught. If you get caught playing a card illegally, then your team is going to lose 2 points. The other team is going to get 2 points as a penalty. That's called reneging. You don't want to do that. If you can follow suit, you must follow suit. If you don't, and you get caught, let's say they caught him and said, no, wait, I think you have a card. That's what somehow they caught him. I don't know how you would catch him, but if they caught him, their opponents, that would be me and my partner, would get 2 points. All right? That's just a little thing I wanted to mention. So, some other tips to mention. Again, it's best to play stick the dealer, where if you go around twice and nobody declares a trump suit, the dealer is forced to do so. Otherwise, you have to reshuffle the cards, re-deal them, and that's just time consuming. Another tip is to take tricks early. You want to try to win as many tricks as possible, so doing that early makes sense. Don't trump your partner's ace. If your partner plays a card that's, one of the highest cards and you can beat it, don't beat it just because you can. That just makes no sense. If your partner's going to win the trick, let him win the trick. Unless you have no choice but to play a card to follow suit. And again, don't rely on your partner for a trick. And if you're going to discard a card, if you're the dealer and you're going to take a card, discard an offsuit single card. So if you take heart as a trump and you got a single club, get rid of it. But anyways, those are just some tips. That is euchre. I apologize, this video is a little bit long. There is a lot to talk about when it comes to euchre. I probably repeated myself a few times, and I apologize for that. Comment, like, subscribe, let me know what you think. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. I should mention, if you don't have scoring cards like those, how you score or keep score with a regular deck of cards, and that is one of 2 ways. And some euchre decks come like this already with these scoring methods, and that is a 4 and a 6 of diamonds, for instance. And what you would do is you would do this or this. If you win 1 point, that's 1 point. That would be 2. That would be, if I can get the move, that would be 3. And then that would be 4. And then That would be 5 and 6 and so forth. Or in some cases it comes with 5s. And the 5s or 6s or 4s, whatever it comes with in your euchre deck, they don't have indexes. They're not used for gameplay, they're used for scoring. But if you're just using a regular deck of cards and you want to use 5s or 6s or whatever, you would simply do that. There's 2, 3, 4 points, that's right, 5 points, 6. And that's why they use in the 4 and whatnot, because then that's 4 points, and you flip this over, then you know you're on 5, 6, and so forth. And of course, once you get to 10, you win the game. But that's just a little bit extra scoring for you on how to use regular cards for scoring, or the cards that might come in a regular euchre deck, unlike this one. Or you can just write it on a piece of paper as well. You can just keep scoring a piece of paper. That is that. We'll see you next time. Well, thanks for watching. I apologize. This is a very long video.